Hi, hello. My name is Oludaimide and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a new step towards the right direction. This is Gen Z Speaks with Oludaimide. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Gen Z Speaks, of course, the name sounds kind of cheesy, but I just came up with it because I felt like it suits what I'm trying to pass across on this channel. Now, why did I start this channel? Number one, I'm tired of singing online because I love singing a lot and I used to sing online a lot. I used to try my best, to pump out videos every time. But then singing became so difficult. There's not a lot of songs for me to choose. As a Christian, there's not a lot of songs that I can choose from. With the songs circulating out there, it's really difficult for Christians to actually find solid songs that they can sing, that will actually glorify God and inspire other believers. So apart from the fact that I don't have a lot of songs to choose from, and those songs I have to choose from, even they are sometimes very difficult to sing, and most of them don't fit into uh, the fast-paced, interesting, worldly music that we all listen to. You cannot shorten some of these gospel songs to like 2 minutes, 1 minute videos. And then when I sang online, I had to record singing the same song maybe 10 times and find the best one with the best sound quality and all that. And it was just so exhausting. So I thought to myself, like, instead of me singing, why don't I, try something else I'm also good at? That is talking, yeah, and giving advice. I recently graduated from secondary school, so I feel like I've had a lot of time to stay at home and ponder over some things about the way this generation is going, and Gen Z, you grab. So I've had a lot of time to think about how things will go with this generation. I've had a lot of time to go on social media and check out a lot of things going on there. So that is why I decided to start this channel. Another reason is because, like I said earlier, I kept going on social media and I kept looking at the state of the way this generation is progressing. This generation is progressing in many different ways, but somehow everything just boils down to the wrong direction. They are progressing, of course, they're moving forward, some in the right direction, but most of them in the wrong direction. And I realized that, music and the media, social media and all of that heavily influences the way Gen Z thinks, the way this generation thinks, the way people of my age group think, the way they do things, and they live most of their lives online. Now, before I go any further, who are Generation Z, Gen Z? Now, Gen Z are a group of individuals that were born in mid or late 1990s to around 2012. So if you were born in the middle, so somewhere around 1995 to 2012, you're officially a Gen Z person. Now, one of the other reasons why I created this channel was to find the balance, a kind of harmony between other generations that have preceded us, because we cannot do without each other. Each generation that precedes the next always has one sort of idea or one sort of innovation that is always coming from the previous generation into the next one. And so sometimes the new generation or the newer generation tends to always discard most of what the old generation is bringing, because times have changed and whatever, and that is that's cool, that's fine. But the more I started to look back, I look back in time, I start to realize that there are a lot of things that these people said that actually still applicable to this generation, even though we think times have changed. Some of these old methods and old topics and conversations are still very relevant today. So before I go any further, before Gen Z, we had the Gen Y, or the millennials. And the millennials are, most of the millennials today are parents or the youths. They are like around 25 to 40 years old. So if you are around 25 to 40 years old, you are a millennial. And now we have Gen X. Now, Gen X are those born from 1965 to 1980. Now, each generation has its own strength, has its own weaknesses. But then Gen Z also has its own strengths, also has its own weaknesses. But a lot of our strengths are very, 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 very defective. Of course, we have a lot of strengths, but then those strengths are not really, really, solid in a way I would like to. I don't know how to put it, but those strengths are not really, really, put together like the other generation, the previous generation before ours. So the thing is that the Gen Xers, that's those that were born from 1965 to 1980, were resourceful, independent, and keen on maintaining work-life balance, according to my research. So that, and I have actually, seen that for myself. People that I have met that identify within Gen X, they usually have that kind of sort of thing. They are, most of them are parents, grandparents, parents between parents and grandparents, And then we have the boomers. The boomers are those born from around 1946 to 1964, post World War II, baby boom, whatever. So these different generations, what I'm basically trying to do on this channel is to bring ideas and solutions to present day problems with ideas and information from the past generations. So I feel like this generation has come such a long way. We can do better. That's what I'll say. We can do better because most people see us, Gen Z. Most people see us, Gen Z teenagers, as this rude, impulsive, obnoxious group of people who don't value culture, who don't value tradition, and to some extent, they are actually right. And so the thing is that we need a new perspective to the way we see Gen Z, to the way we treat them, and to the way we can work with them to actually create a better world or better social society for all of us. So basically, what I'm trying to do on this channel is to, bring Gen Z, like my Gen Z viewers, a new perspective, a new solution, a new information, trying to formulate basically new things just for us to handle today's matters, to handle, what this generation brings for us, what this generation, poses to us as a challenge, and to solve those challenges with ideas from the previous generations instead of doing away with them like we usually do. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing past ideas and I'm joining them with new ideas, and I'm trying to create something new that can actually work for all of us. So this channel is to inform and make other generations be actually part of the solution for this generation. So we are making them inclusive, we are making them feel heard, and we are also informing them that we are not all loud, obnoxious, and rude, and we actually value our tradition. So this is a new step in the right direction. Because when I immediately after I graduated from secondary school and I came on social media, I found out that there is not a lot of content creators out there that are actually focusing on the right things. Most of them are focusing on trends and dances, TikToks, whatever, comedy. Not attacking them or coming against them, but I feel like there needs to be some group of content creators who can come and attack the real issues that are going on in the society, social, physical, emotional issues that are going on with Gen Z, instead of just always trying to distract ourselves with short-term gratitude, activities like watching TikTok or performing, getting involved in trends. I feel like those things like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or those sort of things that give us short gratitude, just give us like a short burst of gratitude, and I feel like those things are actually just there to like distract us from the real issue. They are good, but then most of the time, most people get addicted to these platforms a lot. They get addicted to Instagram, they get addicted to Snapchat, TikTok, and most of the times what it does is distract them from the main issues going on in their actual physical life. So they bring all their life onto social media, as unreliable as social media is. They bring all their life to social media, and then they forget that they actually have a life outside social media. When that reality hits them, and that's when things like depression comes in and whatever, and all sorts of issues that we have with Gen Z today. Now, the thing is, these platforms are not only distracting, but in some way they're also spreading the wrong information, because a lot of accounts out there are crazy. I'm not gonna lie. When you come on Twitter, when you come on Instagram, you're gonna see some crazy stuff, especially TikTok. You're going to see some crazy stuff, some crazy ideas on people are spreading that they supposedly want Gen Z to follow. So I feel like there just has to be someone there that can bring a new solution, a new perspective to the way Gen Z should actually be living their lives, and not in the way that the society or other people have dictated this for us to be. So I'll be taking points, I'll be taking ideas from previous generations. Now, I told you earlier that each generation has their strengths and their weaknesses. So we are bringing those points together, because we can't do without each other. Learn from each other's mistakes, and trying to formulate a clear strategy, to live a better life as a whole. What I want this platform to be is to be like a beacon of light, a beacon of inspiration to upcoming, generation and other Gen Zs, other generations before us, to actually let them know that we can do better. We can do better. We can move forward in the right direction. So, and also to keep the Gen Z informed, and others out there that might have not been getting the right information before, or might have not been opportune to something like this, like I was, to tell them that you don't have to fit into this tiny box that your friends put you into. Because that's one of the main things with Gen Z. Most of them are self-absorbed, stay-at-home type. Most of them don't have a lot of social interaction apart from social media. So most of them, their life is heavily dictated by their peers and what they see other people doing online. So this is to tell you, if you're watching me out there, you're in Gen Z like me, you don't have to fit into that box. You don't have to do what other people are telling you to do. Look, I don't think I've ever seen anyone my age on this platform doing what I'm doing right now. And it made me realize a lot of things that for the fact that I've not met anybody like me out there that is actually doing this thing, and not doing TikTok trends and dancing to music online and doing other things. Not that those things are bad, but to find that there's not a lot of people doing things like this, which are equally as important or maybe even more important than what others are doing, is just like an eye-opener for me. So this is to tell you that you don't have to conform to societal norms, you don't have to conform to what your friends are telling you to do, you don't have to feel pressurized. You can always talk to your parents, talk to an older person, talk to your pastor, talk to someone who is older. Most of the times they always have an experience with what's going on with you at any particular moment in time. See, they might not understand, but that's what you are there for. They might not understand the times, because times have changed truly, but they might not understand times, but that's what you are there for, to make them understand the times. No matter what the times are, no matter how changed things become, the thing with older generation is they always know. They just always, that time change or a thing doesn't seem to really make a difference on their mentality, and it is correct. What they are doing is correct, because no matter how much times change, some knowledge, some basic advice will always remain the same. There's no way we can do without it. So basically, ignoring those ideas from them, ignoring those points, those advices from them, those critical life skills and lessons, is just like taking a treasure and just throwing it away. To me, that's what it feels like. So talk to people that are you, ask for their opinion, don't be shy. Now, I'm not asking you to go and meet anybody. Just talk to someone you trust, someone you know that this person is a good person. This person, has a lot of views that are actually very, very good and progressive. So I think Gen Z should really try to talk to older generation more, because I feel like they have a better idea of what we are going through than even our friends that we mostly consult are. So because most of us, when we have issues, first thing my friend, my friend, that friend on social media, mates on social media, most of the times they don't always know what's best. So what is best is for you to meet someone from the previous generation, because most of the times they always have all the cheat codes and all the pointers that mostly we think that we don't have to take, but most of the times we really do need them. And in the end, final point on this introduction video, thank you for staying this far. Thank you, for listening to me this far. I think this video is kind of long, but thank you for listening to me this far. Please do not forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. You can follow my other, social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. I'm still debating TikTok, but I'm not releasing TikTok account here for now, because I just want to focus on Instagram and Twitter for now, because I feel like those are the places where you can actually communicate freely. I'm still going to get back to TikTok, but for now, Twitter and Instagram, especially Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter, so you can follow me on Twitter at uludo_Ayomide. If you search it, put it in the search bar to bring out my name, or you search at capital letter I, Melanino, M-E. You see the spelling down there, So all I'm here to do is share my views, share my ideas, share what I think should be the way forward for this generation. Now, it does not mean that I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm learning. I'm young as well. I just felt the need to do this. I felt the need to actually, bring information from the past to the future to actually observe things that are going on in the present day. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. So if there's anything I said or anything I'm saying that you don't quite agree with, please do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. We're all trying to help each other. Do not hesitate. Just comment. You can come over to Twitter and say something. Come over to Instagram and say something. Free your mind. Say everything. I'm here for you. Understand? So on this channel, we'll be covering a lot of topics that affect teenagers, young adults, youths, parents, grandparents. We'll be covering a lot of topics. Emotional topics, social topics, relationship issues, everything you need to know about this generation, the issues currently going on with this generation, and the way forward. We will be discussing everything right here on this channel. Thank you once again for staying this far with me, for listening to me this long. I really appreciate it, because I feel like this video is kind of long. Maybe it might not be longer next time, so I'll be releasing a new video tomorrow, hopefully, maybe in the evening or in the afternoon, so you have to watch out. Don't forget to follow my other social media platforms on Twitter and on Instagram. My social media handles will be below. And if I'm opportune, by God's grace, maybe we can start inviting other people to interview or to have a discussion with, instead of it being only me. As time goes forward, we'll figure it out. Thank you once again. This is Gen Z Speaks with Uludo Ayomide. Shalom.